Well, this is also another important year because it's a presidential election. So what do you think is the current state of the union? How do you see that under Barack Obama as opposed to maybe previous years? Where do you think the country's headed?
Well, I think the country is pretty evenly divided. It feels like it's, you know, it's 45, 45, 10, or 47, 47, 6. I mean, the country's pretty divided. And I don't, you know, I think there's a few things where large numbers of the body politic agree. I think, you know, debt and deficit happens to be one of them. But there, the difficulty is, as I said at the beginning, the difficulty there is, if you do it the Republican way, you can't get it done. If you do it the Democratic way, you can't get it done. You might get a round of applause at your party's convention, and you might rally the party faithful, but you're not going to solve the problem. If Democrats are reactionary, as we've become on Social Security and Medicaid, we can't balance the budget. And if Republicans are reactionary on taxes, as they've become, you can't balance the budget. It doesn't mean you have to be extreme in any case. I mean, you could find 4 people walking the streets of Kearney, 4 people in this room, and I can give you the facts of the budget and what we need to do to balance it, and you'd figure it out in an hour. This is not like, you know, finding the Higgs boson. This is a relatively easy thing to figure out.
Do you feel that we are better off than we were 4 years ago?
Well, I think we're better. Oh my God, yes. I mean, I remember 4 years ago very, very well. You know, we were going to the market with a big bond issue for one of the new school's largest, not one of the new school's largest facility. You couldn't borrow money for coffee. I mean, the credit markets had seized up, and it was scary. And I wasn't crazy about TARP, I wasn't crazy about stimulus, I wasn't crazy about lots of things the Federal Reserve was doing. But I don't know what the heck I do differently. And somehow we've managed to muddle through this thing. And I'm not saying it's all because of what President Obama has done. A lot of it has to do with what the private sector has done. And a lot of it has to do with the rise in commodity prices. And I think this economy, and we may get a real lesson in it with this drought. I think it's underappreciated, the relationship between healthy agriculture and healthy economy. I think the unemployment rate in Nebraska is 8%. If corn was $3 and wheat was $3 and soybeans were 6.5 and cattle were 75 cents. And you don't have to go back very far to find that situation. So, yeah, I think things are better. The problem is this was a brutal financial meltdown. And, you know, where individual net worths were substantially reduced, businesses' net worths were substantially reduced, markets seized up so you couldn't borrow, demand disappeared. It was scary. I mean, the idea that we could tip over into recession was great. I mean, one of the things that back to the question about me in this campaign, I've got businesses in Nebraska. I employ 1,200 people in Nebraska in restaurants and health clubs. And 4 years ago, I wasn't sure. And we've managed to get through it, but we might not have managed to get through it. So even in Nebraska, where as a result of having higher commodity prices and healthy agriculture, even Nebraska's been a tough time. And it feels much better today. It feels still scary and fragile. It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much to put us back in the soup, in my opinion. So, and I don't know how long. You know, it's going to. I think it's going to take. I don't know, 7 years, 10 years before housing values are back where they were before, where people feel the confidence that they did before. No, it's been a real scary, difficult ride the last 4 years. Yes, sir.